Any lowlife that I put down, I did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it. You people, you call me the Punisher, ain't that right? The big bad Punisher. Here I am! You hear me? I'm guilty. My party, I'll kill every one of them. I'll kill every single... Open the door. Open the goddamn door.
There he is. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Speak her name again! Go ahead!
The series begins with Daredevil fighting a group of robbers at night. One of the masked men points a gun at a police officer, but before he can shoot, Daredevil jumps in and starts beating them all.
Get out of the way!
Drop the gun! Get out of the car now!
The next morning, Foggy and Matt are walking on the streets, having a conversation. Foggy is worried about Daredevil's safety and fears losing his friend Matt, who is actually the Daredevil. While talking, Foggy notices blood behind Matt's ears, but Matt brushes it off, telling Foggy not to worry.
Every molecule in your body hurts?
No, never.
Oh, I'm in agony, dude.
What, do you go back to the gym?
Hell no.
Mind if I ask you a personal question?
Go ahead.
Are you insane?
Yes.
So come on, what is it? What's the problem?
No wingman. You never come out with me anymore. You know, Karen's been asking questions. The cuts, the scrapes, the bruises.
What do you tell her?
You have a drinking problem. And I'm past worrying about the broken bones, finding you beaten into a coma.
Come on, let's get to work.
Hey, I could get out of this heat.
They head to their office. When they arrive, they find the office crowded with people, and Karen is struggling to manage them alone. She pulls Matt and Foggy aside and explains that they are completely broke, with no money for food or bills.
The bad news is that we're broke.
We'll manage. I don't know how, but I know we will.
Miss Jacinto, will you come in, please?
Let's see if we can find you a better way to live in Hell's Kitchen.
Following the downfall of Wilson Fisk, the Russian Mafia, and the disappearance of the Chinese and Yakuza, various gangs, including the Irish mob and cartels, try to take control of Hell's Kitchen. In one scene, a criminal Irish group is discussing their plans to take over the area and export drugs, unaware that they will get punished that night.
Some of us feared Fisk, maybe even deigned to work for him, siding against their own kind. The Russians are dead. The Chinese, they turned tail and ran. The Yakuza have gone silent.
Killing everyone except one man, Grotto, who manages to hide behind a table. Later, Foggy, Matt, and Karen are at a party, having fun. Karen teaches Matt how to play pool game, and Matt senses her heart beating strongly as they get close. Karen leaves to buy drinks, and Matt notices a man with a gun. The man, named Grotto, is looking for Nelson and Murdoch for protection. Matt approaches him, and Grotto shares his story, asking for safety in exchange for information.
We weren't hit by any rival family either. I'm telling you, we were hit by an army. Part of New York that was like goddamn war zone. I'm no choir boy. I'm telling you, I just skirt the surface. I'm telling you, I had nothing to do with that massacre. My people think I'm a traitor or a rat.
So what can Nelson and Murdoch do for you, Mr.
I'm Grotto. You guys need to get the hell out of here before I end up in the only place hotter than this.
The DA's office is the only place that can make a deal.
Yeah, I'm not walking the DA without representation.
Well, we have a reputation for representing the good people of Hell's Kitchen.
A second chance, that's all I want. That Nelson and Murdoch put their faith in people, and I need a little of that right now.
You have somewhere you can stay?
Guys, She's bleeding.
The police arrive, and Matt and Foggy leave the scene. On the way, Matt tells Foggy he needs to go somewhere else. Karen takes Grotto to the hospital for treatment, while Matt tracks down Turk involved in drug smuggling. The man tries to escape, but Matt catches and beats him, demanding to know who is buying military weapons.
The Irish had a whole squad massacre tonight. Military-grade firepower.
That tin in my trunk couldn't kill a rabbit. Okay, listen. Every gang worse shit's trying to grab up everything Fat Boy left behind. Warehouse, meatpacking district, 13th Street and something. Listen, man. I gave you what you wanted. Just let a brother go, huh? We both know I'll be back out by the end of the month.
Meanwhile, Foggy goes to the Dogs of Hell gang to meet his old friend Smitty. However, the gang mocks him when he mentions Smitty's name. One man takes Foggy aside and informs him that Smitty is dead. Daredevil arrives at the meat factory and finds several dead bodies. He discovers one man still alive and questions him about the gang. The man reveals that it's not a gang, but one individual behind everything, leaving Daredevil shocked. The scene shifts to this man, who goes to the hospital to kill Grotto.
Hold it right there.
She starts her car and tries to escape amid heavy gunfire. The man reaches the rooftop and is about to shoot Grotto when Daredevil intervenes.
Bang.
The police arrive at the crime scene, investigating about the hospital incidents. Foggy is very upset and keeps calling Matt, but Matt doesn't answer. Foggy eventually reaches the rooftop and finds Matt, who is seriously injured. Matt having been shot in the head, but his bulletproof mask saved him. Foggy takes Matt to his apartment, where he angrily warns Matt to stop getting involved in this dangerous situation.
You got shot in the head. You're lucky you're not in the morgue.
I should have heard it, you know.
He's a lunatic, Matt. I went to the hospital. I saw what he did.
I'm gonna put on some pants.
No.
It's okay, I know we need to get going.
We don't need to do anything.
Foggy, I don't want to do this right
Karen's
now.
safe.
You saw what he did to the Irish. You didn't see what he did to the Mexican cartel. He hung them on meat hooks. When the cops try to take this guy down, it's gonna be one hell of a fight. Lives are gonna be lost. I need to help.
You want another round.
Blood is being shed,
And
Foggy.
you've donated more than your fair share to the cause.
I need to stop him.
Let the NYPD and the DA do their jobs.
Meanwhile, Grotto is at the police station. Foggy and Karen are talking to him when the police officer Brett Mahoney arrives and informs them that the DA's office wants to speak with them. Foggy goes to meet them. Matt, still affected by the head injury, struggles with his powers, as his senses fade in and out, and the noises around him become overwhelming. In a meeting with Foggy, Karen, and Brett, the DA's office discusses providing protection for Grotto, but in exchange, they want information on Edger Brass, a notorious figure in the underworld. Initially, Grotto refuses, knowing Brass won't let him live. However, the DA shows Grotto pictures of people killed by the man who attacked the hospital, calling him the Punisher.
Who's Edgar Brass?
Drug dealing butcher was worse by a mile. They sent me after him. I'm as good as dead.
Why Grotto?
Because we know your client has worked with Brass before.
What the hell is that?
You could call it work product.
He's tracking gangs to their home turf and taking them out with military precision.
And if any of his intended marks are lucky enough to escape, he gets to them too. Whether you take it is up to you.
They're calling this one the Punisher.
Terrified, Grotto agrees to help. The Punisher is seen at a shop, asking for a radio. The shop owner gives him everything he asks for, but then offers him child videos.
Do I know you?
I need NYPD mobile communications rig.
Sure you're not a cop? Because that's trouble I don't need. It's $1,000. We're talking about a one-of-a-kind item.
Videotape. What about the double barrel under the counter?
I mean, hold on, sure I can't get you anything else? Back door, grannies, or maybe you're in the market for something younger. She's barely 12. For $100, she's all yours. What the hell are you doing? I'm just trying to make a buck.
Matt eventually regains consciousness and feels better. He hears a knock at the door and finds Karen there. They discuss what happened to Matt, and Karen also informs him about the Punisher. Determined to stop the Punisher, Matt visits Melvin Potter, the man who designed Daredevil's suit. After inspecting the damaged helmet, Melvin agrees to repair it temporarily, but warns Matt that it won't be as durable as before.
You gotta understand, it's not just the crack part that's broken. The crack makes the whole thing fragile, like a bird egg. I gotta make you a new one.
What can you do for me tonight?
I'll reinforce the cracks, but it won't keep you safe.
Matt heads to a location where he hears the sound of police cars, realizing they've found the Punisher's hideout. Meanwhile, the Punisher arrives at a Dogs of Hell hideout and kills everyone inside. A meeting between Grotto and Brass is about to happen, but Brass is unaware that Grotto is working with the DA to trap him. Grotto wears a hidden microphone and heads toward the meeting. Suddenly, a man attacks Grotto, who turns out to be working for the DA. The DA's real target isn't Brass, but the Punisher, knowing he will go after Grotto. Karen and Foggy are furious with the DA for using Grotto as bait. The DA gives Grotto a bulletproof vest. As they wait, a truck approaches, and the DA assumes the Punisher is inside. However, they soon realize it's a diversion. The Punisher is actually on a nearby rooftop, aiming to kill Grotto. Just in time, Daredevil arrives.
Grotto's getting away. We have to go get him.
No, you can't go out there.
Foggy.
This place is about to become a war zone.
Take the shot.
No.
Foggy rushes to the building to find Daredevil and the Punisher, but both have escaped before he arrives. The scene shifts to the past, where a nun is taking care of Matt as he lies unconscious. In a dream, water turns into blood, and Matt wakes up, realizing that the Punisher has tied him up with a chain. Matt learns that the Punisher's real name is Frank. They begin talking, and Matt questions Frank about why he kills people.
You killed everyone else. Why am I still alive? What are you gonna do with all this?
I'll do what's required.
You know what I think?
What's that?
You're still at war.
Everything you do out there in the streets, Red, it doesn't work. Did you know that?
Oh, who did you lose? Was it someone you loved? Well, boo-hoo. Let me tell you something, buddy. Everybody's lost someone.
What kind of name is the devil of Hell's Kitchen anyway? I mean, really?
People don't have to die.
Come on, Red, you believe that?
I believe it's not my call, and it ain't yours either.
I think you're a man who can't finish the job. I think that you're a coward. You know, you're one bad day away from being me.
Suddenly, a man arrives, sensing people on his rooftop. Frank talks to the man, who was once in the military, and gets permission to stay on the roof.
Hey, Marine.
Yeah.
Semper Fi. Listen carefully, okay? Are you listening? Yeah? How about now? You listening? I think that the people I kill need killing. That's what I think.
You left men hanging from meat hooks.
They got off easy, in my opinion.
You run around this city like it's your damn shooting gallery.
Yeah, what do you do? You throw them in jail a week, a day later, they're back on the streets doing the same goddamn thing.
A human being who did a lot of stupid shit, maybe even evil, but had one small piece of goodness in him. And then you come along and that one tiny flicker of light gets snuffed out forever.
Yeah, nobody got hurt or didn't deserve it.
Yeah. What about you, Frank? What happens the day someone decides you deserve it?
They better not miss.
You ever doubt yourself, Frank?
Not even for a second.
Really?
I think there's no good in the filth that I put down. That's what I think.
And how do you know?
I just know. I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call. That's what I think. I think you hit them and they get back up. I hit them and they stay down.
People you murdered deserve another chance.
What, to kill again, rape again? Is that what
No,
you
Frank,
want?
to try again, Frank. There is goodness in people, even in you. And you're gonna have to kill me because I'm never gonna stop coming for you.
Meanwhile, Foggy goes to the hospital where Claire Temple works, hoping Matt might have come for treatment, but he hasn't. Both Foggy and Claire are worried about Matt. Back at the office, Karen is anxious, fearing that the Punisher will come after her. She receives a call from Grotto, who tells her he's leaving the city. Karen urges him to come back, but Grotto doesn't trust her and refuses. At the hospital, Foggy is still with Claire when a man starts attacking people. Foggy and Claire manage to calm him down. Karen later visits Black Towers to request files on the Punisher. When Matt regains consciousness, he finds a gun in his hand, while Frank is beating Grotto.
Stop it, Frank! He doesn't deserve to die just because you caught him stealing cars!
Is that what you think? You were doing a little more than that a few months ago.
What are you trying to prove, Frank? Frank, I'm not gonna shoot you, Frank!
Nothing happened. I'm sorry.
Just shut up! Stop talking, Grotto!
You say it.
Yeah, I didn't know. The old lady was in the house. She started screaming. I begged her to stop.
What did you do?
She saw my face. I had no choice.
You still think this piece of shit is worth saving?
I'm not gonna shoot him.
After confessing, Grotto breaks down and begs for his life. Matt tries to convince Frank not to kill him, arguing there are other ways to punish him. Frank tells Matt there's a gun in his hand with one bullet, giving Matt the choice to kill either him or Grotto.
I'm losing patience, Red.
Don't you dare shoot him!
Nah, it's a bad idea. You see, he'll kill again.
Killing him's not gonna bring anybody back.
Nah, but it will keep him from hurting anybody else.
No.
You don't do it, his death's on you. Either way, you're a killer. Two!
What kind of choice is that?
I'm gonna get you out of here.
I'm gonna get you out of here.
Why didn't you stop him?
Frank gets up and shoots the tires of the Dogs of Hell's motorcycles, causing a massive explosion. A brutal fight breaks out between Daredevil and the Punisher. The Dogs of Hell gang arrives, looking for Frank, but Matt refuses to hand him over. He carries Frank's unconscious body to the lift. However, by the time Matt gets to the elevator, he finds that Frank has awakened and escaped from the place. Meanwhile, Karen is studying the files on the Punisher and discovers his real name and history. The Irish gang is holding a funeral for people killed by the Punisher. A man named Finn, whose son was among the dead, arrives. Finn makes an immediate impression. When one of his associates tries to calm him down, Finn kills him with an ice pick to the eye. His next goal is to hunt down the man responsible for killing his son and stealing his money. The gang starts tracking down Frank, the Punisher, by beating their way closer to his hideout. The gang visits a shop where Frank had been, learning more about him. They then go to Frank's house but only find his dog. Finn inspects the house and realizes Frank was a military soldier. As they leave, Frank is watching them from a distance. Meanwhile, Matt is getting ready for Grotto's funeral, and Karen helps him with his tie. The three of them, Matt, Karen, and Foggy, attend the funeral, where Father Lantom gives the sermon. Afterward, Matt stays behind to talk to the father, expressing guilt over not being able to save Grotto. Father Lantom reassures him.
Yeah, I did everything I could to protect my clan.
That work is done, Matthew.
Because I failed.
What are you looking for?
Forgiveness?
For what?
Not doing more.
You just said you did everything you could.
Then why do I still feel guilty?
Means your work is not yet finished.
Frank, meanwhile, is tending to his injuries. Afterward, he checks on the money he stole from the Irish gang, hidden in his van. Back at the office, Karen gives Matt files on the Punisher. She points out that there may be more to Frank's story, and that D.A. Reyes might be covering something up. When Foggy steps away to take a call, Karen and Matt discuss the Punisher. Karen admits she's intrigued by Frank's story, and Matt reassures her that she's compassionate, not crazy. Later, they realize Karen has disappeared and taken all the files with her. Karen tracks down the janitor who once knew about Frank. He tells her that when Frank was brought to the hospital, he was near death with a bullet in his head, and his heart stopped for a minute, but he just couldn't die, and quickly recovered while asking the janitor to take him home. He agreed and took him to his place, which later got him fired. Frank is sitting in a park, watching a merry-go-round, when the Irish gang finds him.
You want to come with us, or you want to make a mess?
We want him alive!
They're surrounded, son. I'll be a good lad and drop the iron.
Brett Mahoney is investigating a murder when Daredevil shows up, asking if the Punisher is responsible. Brett reluctantly shares that the Irish are after Frank. He also criticizes Daredevil, saying vigilantes make things harder for the police. Matt insists they're on the same side. Just before leaving, Matt overhears a radio call revealing the location where Frank was captured by the Irish. Karen breaks into Frank's house. She finds signs of a family life, including a room for Frank's daughter, Lisa. She also sees photos of Frank with his wife and children, along with evidence of his military service. The house has been left exactly as it was, and Karen becomes emotional.
Who did this?
Go to hell. The one they call Punisher.
Where is he?
Don't think you're showing me something I haven't seen before. Because your killing spree has all the signs of a man seeking retribution.
How'd that feel?
Boys, hold him down! Oh, I was hoping it would come to this.
Take that side.
It seems like you've taken a liking to this mutt.
What'd you do? Hey, let him go! Come on, he's in a van. Okay, it's in a van.
I'll keep you alive until the cash is safe at hand. Yeah?
Yeah, I got the case. Hold on.
Jimmy!
Who killed my family?
Who cares?
They're gonna pay. Every single goddamn one of them.
They will.
After the fight, Daredevil helps Frank to a nearby cemetery. Frank opens up about the last day of his daughter's life, and Matt listens intently. As they finish talking, the police arrive. Brett goes to arrest Daredevil, but Matt tells him to take credit for capturing Frank. Brett agrees, letting Daredevil go. Matt insists people need to believe the system works. Later, Matt meets Foggy and Karen at Josie's bar, where they watch the news report on Frank's arrest. They toast Brett, who is hailed as a hero. While Foggy goes to get another round of drinks, Matt makes a move on Karen. Foggy sees this from the bar, but takes it in stride. Outside, Foggy jokes that Matt might end up happy for once. Karen offers to walk Matt home in the rain, and they share a kiss outside his apartment. Matt asks Karen on a date, and she agrees. Matt is all smiles when he gets home, but that changes when he senses someone in his apartment.
Hello, Matthew.
Electra.
The scene shifts to 10 years earlier, where Matt and Foggy are at a party, enjoying some food. Matt steps outside to get a drink, where a group of wealthy people is gathered. As he listens to the conversations, he picks up on a peculiar sound coming from Electra. A security guard notices Matt and tries to stop him, asking how he got there since Matt doesn't have an invitation. Elektra saves Matt from being kicked out and then mocks him, calling him a boring and naive poor student. Matt counters her insults by calling her a bored, rich girl. Intrigued, Elektra takes a liking to Matt, and the two speed off in her likely stolen Porsche. Later, Elektra brings Matt to his father's old gym, where Matt opens up about how his father was killed by a criminal named Roscoe Sweeney. Elektra then takes a swing at Matt, testing her theory that he's more than just a blind law student.
You never saw your father fight.
Oh, I saw him get his ass beat more times than I can count.
Did he die in the ring?
Organized crime?
Was he a criminal?
No. But I guess you could say he rubbed some people the wrong way. Guy named Roscoe Sweeney. I don't know he pulled the trigger, but he gave the order. He probably went underground.
Oh, 6 feet, I heard.
But like I told you more in the last 10 minutes than I've told anyone else in 10 years.
You said you were blind.
You got me.
We're just getting started.
The scene shifts to the present, where Elektra is in Matt's apartment. Matt asks her why she's come back. Elektra says she misses him, but Matt doesn't believe her. She explains that she's in town for a business meeting and needs Matt's help as a lawyer. However, Matt refuses to help her and asks her to leave. The next day, Matt, Foggy, and Karen meet in their office, which is in poor condition. Karen, however, suggests that the Punisher might not be such a bad guy, sharing that she visited Frank's house and saw his family photos.
You're a goddess.
Okay, you two. Let's talk business. Potential clients, real ones, with bank in the bank.
I mean, 5 different papers, not a word about the bullet he took to the brain, or his military record, or his family. I sort of broke into his house.
You did what?
What?
It was ill-advised, I know.
Not to mention dangerous.
Something big is going on here, guys, and it all circles back to Frank Castle.
I don't think you're wrong about Castle, but it's really simple, Karen. Just, I don't want you to get hurt.
That was the bank.
Oh, no.
No, it's all good. There was a deposit.
Yeah, do me a favor, don't spend any of it.
Why not?
God, I was hit up by a potential client yesterday, so...
Matt arrives at the building where Elektra is having a meeting. He climbs to the rooftop of the Yakatomi building and listens in on the meeting. During the meeting, Elektra activates a device hidden in her pen, causing interference with Roxxon's servers. As things go awry in the room, Elektra exits. Meanwhile, Karen arrives at Ben's office and meets with his boss, seeking assistance with the Punisher. She wants to uncover the truth about him, believing he might not be as bad as he seems. Ben's boss agrees to print the story, but requests that Karen keep it confidential. Karen agrees, and they head to the records room to find more information. The publisher eventually leaves the room, allowing Karen to search through the records on her own. Marcy meets with Foggy, who called her for a meeting. Initially, Marcy thinks it might be a date, but Foggy clarifies that he needs information about the DA's corrupt activities. Marcy reveals that the DA wants to kill Frank and that they're also planning to run for mayor. Foggy is alarmed, realizing the implications for Frank and the DA's increasing influence. Marcy also mentions Jessica Jones, who possesses unique powers. Karen continues searching the records and finds an article about a gang fight involving 3 gangs. She connects these gangs to the death of the Punisher's family and takes the newspaper with her as she leaves. Matt and Karen plan to celebrate their date night. When Karen steps away to use the washroom, Matt receives a call from Elektra, who asks for his help.
I'll be back in just a minute.
Yeah.
Order something fantastic.
Sure. Matthew Murdoch.
Yeah.
You have a call.
This is Murdoch.
Sorry to bother you while you're out, but I told you. Maybe I just missed you. But don't worry, you can keep the money. If you really want to be done, consider this me firing you.
When Karen returns, Matt tells her he has urgent business to attend to. Karen suspects Matt is avoiding their date, but Matt explains he wants to go somewhere more comfortable. Karen agrees, and they head to a different location where they spend quality time together. After walking Karen home and sharing a kiss, she invites him upstairs, but Matt declines, saying he doesn't want to complicate their relationship. As he leaves, Matt encounters 2 people attacking a man. The scene then shifts to the past, where Elektra takes Matt to a suburban house. They confess their love and imagine a future together as a married couple with children. However, when the homeowner arrives, Elektra reveals that it is actually Roscoe Sweeney, the man who killed Matt's father.
Oh, Jesus Christ. When I get out of this, I will hunt you!
No. When he gets out.
Couple of kids playing house.
Hey. Watch your tongue. Al just couldn't stay anonymous. He had to spend his blood money.
You don't remember me.
I killed a lot of guys' dads.
Then let me help you.
You call that hard?
Your father, Matthew.
Nothing will stop me from bloodying the street with your corpse.
Keep going.
No, that's all I got.
He knows your name.
I can't do that. Yes, I'd like to report the location of a wanted felon. His name is Roscoe Sweeney.
Back in the present, Elektra is with Matt, and they talk when Matt suddenly senses danger. He warns Elektra that people are coming to kill her. Elektra explains that they are from the Yakuza gang and are after her because she stole their data. She calls Matt for help. Both don their costumes, ready for the challenges ahead.
Hungry?
After the fight, Matt and Elektra reach at the restaurant. Elektra tells Matt that her actual mission is to stop the Black Sky. That's why she has stolen data from Yakuza gang. Matt tells her that if she wants to take help of him, she will not kill anyone in the future. Matt makes a deal with her that as soon as she finds Black Sky, she will leave and will not turn to Matt. Elektra agrees on this.
We do it together. We take them down fast and hard. The second it's done, I'm out of your city.
Then I need to know you're at least going to pretend to feel the same way. Nobody dies. Do you understand?
Perfectly.
But I've actually moved on in the 10 years since you left. I'm seeing someone now. We take down the Yakuza, and then you're gone. I don't want to ever see you again.
Absolutely.
Fine.
Karen and Foggy are in the office when a DA member arrives, requesting Karen's signature on a document stating that Frank tried to harm her. Karen knows this isn't true and refuses to sign. Matt arrives and asks who the DA member is. The DA member claims to be Frank's defense lawyer, but admits that the DA has paid him to make this claim. Matt asks him to leave. Afterward, Matt, Foggy, and Karen decide to fight for Frank's case to ensure he gets justice. They meet with Brett, who has been promoted to a high-security position. Matt tells Brett everything, and although Brett is initially hesitant, he agrees to help.
Frank Castle. My name is Matthew Murdoch.
I know who you are.
We don't want money for our services. We're not interested in fame or free advertising. You're very good at making powerful enemies. Someone in the DA's office wants you dead, Mr. Castle. And we'd like to know why.
Kind of like what you did for Grotto.
Karen, Foggy.
You want answers? So do we.
Why were you in my house?
Who's in there? You three out. Get your things and go.
We have a little bit of business here left.
Frank Castle already has counsel. Matt Murdoch, is it?
Yeah, pleasure to meet you.
Leave this ward, leave this man, leave this entire case behind before you wake up 6 feet under the ash that
We have our case files to back up our story. How's your side looking?
Fact of the matter is, Ms. Reyes, the only person who shouldn't be here right now is you. Unlike his current legal counsel, we can actually help him.
You already did. Says Nelson and Murdoch was lawyers now.
Finally feel like we have the upper hand against that woman.
An assistant arrives, sent by the client who had previously given them a large sum of money. Matt goes to Elektra's car, and she insists that he must accompany her, providing him with clothes to change. Despite Matt's reluctance, Elektra explains that the party they're attending is hosted by the Yakuza. Meanwhile, Foggy and Karen visit Frank, who refuses to share any information. Frank asks Foggy to leave so he can speak with Karen privately. Though initially resistant, Foggy leaves. Karen questions Frank about the day he lost his family. Frank explains that he was resting upstairs while a gang fight occurred far from his home. He was unaware that the gang would enter his house, where his wife and children were. When he heard noises and went downstairs, he found his family dead.
But you and I know you and your family. You were at the carousel that day. How much can you remember?
Sitting about what I remember.
Yes, it is.
I heard a shout. Scream.
Who did you see?
The cartel. Irish. bikers. My job was to keep them safe. I didn't.
The questions can wait a minute. I'll just
Stay.
Matt and Elektra arrive at the Yakuza's party. Elektra is targeting a man named Gibson, who is heavily guarded. Matt uses his blindness to his advantage, spilling a drink on Gibson's clothes to force him to the bathroom.
What the hell? Did the power go out or did you hit the switch?
Back with Frank, Karen tells him that she was fleeing the hospital with Grotto, but asserts that Frank never kills innocent people. Frank is emotional as he talks about his family. Foggy arrives and informs them that Frank might avoid execution, but could face life imprisonment if he admits guilt. Frank refuses to plead guilty and insists on speaking the truth.
How does the defendant plead?
I plead not guilty. You hear that, witch? I'm gonna watch you burn right along
Counselor,
with me. You
please
hear me?
control your...
Do you hear me?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Court date will be set upon consultation with the DA's office. We are adjourned.
3 hours ago, he was pleading guilty. Why did he change his mind?
maybe he just wants the truth about Grotto, about his family, about the cover-up.
We need to find Matt before this goes wide. Tell him everything's about to change.
Foggy tries to reach Matt, but he is unavailable. Elektra and Matt locate the files they need on a floor of the building. Elektra opens a cupboard, but finds no files. They discover a secret door leading to the documents. As they try to escape, the Yakuza gang arrives. Matt and Elektra pretend to be engaged in intimate activity, fooling the Yakuza into believing they are only there for that purpose, and are allowed to leave. Once back in their car, Matt and Elektra read the documents and discover details about a labor shipment, mostly from Japan. They are shocked by the shipment details, but the documents are in a language they cannot decode. Gibson is brought to his superior's office, where his guards are killed. Gibson pleads that he did not double-cross the Yakuza, but receives a cryptic response that they are not Yakuza after all. Matt returns to Foggy, who is worried about Frank refusing to admit guilt for his accusations. Frank is washing his face as he prepares to move from jail to court. The court hearing has started, with some people in favor of Frank and others against him. The judge says that after hearing all the suggestions, they will have to conclude Frank's fate. Frank arrives at the court. Matt, Foggy, and Karen give their statements.
I think he's an animal.
A fascist without the authority. If you ask me,
It's like the only thing protecting us is Frank.
I just moved my family to New York, and now we're moving out.
Hero. That's what we should be calling him. Doing the things the cops won't do.
For putting all the thieves and muggers and rapists in the morgue where they belong.
If anyone can kill anyone in this town, where does the insanity end?
Let those bastards feel scared walking down the street for a change.
In the next scene, Matt, Karen, and Foggy are sitting in their office, discussing how they will save Frank, as it is a difficult case. They decide to present Frank as mentally unstable to reduce his punishment. However, they need Frank's permission first, so Karen goes to the prison where Frank is being held. Karen is thoroughly checked by security to ensure she is not carrying any weapons. She then enters Frank's room and explains the plan to him, but Frank refuses because he does not want to be labeled as insane. Karen insists, warning him that if he keeps denying it, he will remain in jail forever and will never be able to find the people involved in his family's murder. Frank still disagrees, but Karen reveals that the people he believes are responsible for his family's deaths are not actually the killers. She has done research and found other people involved. Frank is shocked by this revelation. Meanwhile, Matt is in the office when he receives a call from Elektra. She calls Matt to meet her urgently. Matt refuses to meet her because he knows he has to go to court to fight Frank's case. However, Elektra tells him that it's important. She gives the time of 2 hours to Matt to come to his targeted location.
But next time, I swear, all I want to do is eat Mugu Gai Pan off your bodies.
You've been awfully naughty.
What the hell do you want from me?
You were hired by the Yakuza.
What do you want me to do?
What you do best, Philip. Translate.
Come on, please.
Please. Right.
Stop! I'll do it! I'll do it! I'll help you!
Right. Be a pet.
Elektra and Matt force him to decode the language written in a file. In the office, Karen and Foggy discuss Frank's refusal of their plan. They talk about their next move. Foggy is angry with Matt, feeling that Matt is not giving enough attention to Frank's case. He is unaware of Matt's involvement in Yakuza gang and Elektra case. The opening statement is due in court tomorrow, so Foggy and Karen start working on it themselves. Foggy has prepared and practiced the statement which he is going to present in the court tomorrow. Matt and Elektra reach the location where a Yakuza shipment is expected. Matt sees the containers and comments on the large amount of luggage. Elektra opens them, only to find it's a trap set by the Yakuza. Yakuza members arrive, and a fight breaks out. During the fight, Matt warns Elektra not to kill anyone. Elektra gets injured, so Matt takes her to his house for medical treatment. Elektra is shocked to see so many injuries on Matt's body. She asks him about them, and Matt explains. After that, they both fall asleep. The next morning, Matt wakes up in a hurry as he's already late for the court trial. Foggy and Karen are sitting in the courtroom, feeling nervous because Matt, who is crucial to saving Frank, hasn't arrived yet. The DA gives her statement, and then Foggy, though nervous, delivers his statement.
Frank Castle brutally tortured and murdered 30 people. 30 that we know of. Most violent executioner. And justice does not belong in the hands of a man like Frank Castle. This isn't the Wild West. This man is no hero. He's a serial killer. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Mr. Castle is as much a victim. No, he's not. Aside from being a decorated Marine, the man before you is a good husband and an excellent father. But his wife, young son, and daughter were brutally murdered by criminals.
See, Frank Castle never came home. He just traded in one war zone for another.
To cover up that system's mistakes, the prosecution wants blood.
So all I'm asking of you today, keep an open mind.
That's a pretty thick slice of bullshit there, counselor.
After the court hearing, Foggy angrily confronts Matt outside, clearly upset and confused about what Matt has been doing. Matt tries to explain himself and calm Foggy down, but Foggy is too frustrated and refuses to listen. Matt, realizing he can't convince Foggy right now, then turns to Karen. He takes her back to his house to have a more private discussion about the case, hoping to figure out their next steps. After talking for a while and going over their plan, Karen leaves. Elektra, who had been in the house the whole time, overheard parts of their conversation and comes downstairs. Matt notices her and immediately becomes angry, telling her not to listen in on his private conversations. Elektra responds coolly, saying she has no interest in his personal affairs or the case. Matt, still frustrated, asks her to leave because he needs to focus and practice for the trial the next day. Without arguing, Elektra leaves the room, giving Matt the space he needs to prepare for what's coming. The next day, the court hearing begins. An examiner, who has altered a report, is present and is visibly nervous. He asks the judge if he can confess something.
I need to say something about what I did.
Clear the gallery.
I altered the autopsy reports. They warned me if I didn't fix the case reports, they'd come after my family next. You can fire me, arrest me, I don't care. After last night...
Doctor, did something happen last night to impact your testimony?
She was in my house. If I didn't tell the defense what really happened, she'd hunt me down and kill me.
If my office finds out that your firm had anything to do with this...
Our firm? For all we know, it was you who sent those goons.
I've heard enough. Striking the doctor's entire testimony and instructing the jurors to disregard anything they may have heard.
It wasn't Reyes. It was Elektra.
A diplomat's daughter, a debutante.
Not anymore. Infiltrating.
What are you even talking about?
She was going up against him by herself, and she
Your
comes to me.
ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, I'm trying to protect the city.
Criminally decimate
No,
the
I
one
didn't.
witness.
I never told her anything about the trial.
No one's making you go out all hours of the night fighting bad guys, and nobody makes you lie to your friends.
You're not walking.
No, because you know what?
Away from me,
if the
Father.
last few days were any indication, you sure as hell haven't been here.
Tell your girlfriend to stay away from my trial.
No, she's not. Elektra's not my girlfriend.
Matt confronts Elektra and warns her to stay out of his personal life. They then head to a Yakuza location, where they discover a massive digging site. As they are examining the large digging hole, they are suddenly attacked from behind. The attackers are dressed in ninja costumes, and it's clear they are highly trained fighters. A fierce battle breaks out between them. Elektra is on the verge of taking one of the ninjas' lives when Matt quickly stops her, urging her not to kill him. However, in that brief moment of hesitation, the ninja takes advantage and strikes Elektra. A man named Stick appears and swiftly kills all the ninjas in the area. Stick, along with his assistant, helps Matt and Elektra escape. While running, Matt asks Stick if he knows anything about these attackers. Stick remains silent for a moment and then tells Matt that the fight they are caught up in is going to be huge, and the people responsible will never stop hunting them. Worried about Elektra's condition as it worsens, brings her back to his home. Stick quickly prepares an antidote for the poison and applies it to Elektra's wound. She remains unconscious, but her condition starts to stabilize. During this time, Matt senses that Stick knows Elektra from the past, which puzzles him. Meanwhile, Karen is waiting anxiously at the court for Matt to arrive. Foggy shows up and informs Karen that Matt will not be coming today. This news makes Karen quite upset, but she hides her disappointment.
Colonel, how long have you known the defendant?
I'd say the better part of a decade.
How Lieutenant Frank Castle won the Navy Cross?
Lieutenant Frank Castle was part of a small team. He was conducting a close target reconnaissance in the vicinity of the Hindu Kush. Lieutenant Castle wanted to abort. Officer in charge said no. Within the first hour, the officer in charge of that mission got his arm blown off. Frank went to the LZ, all by himself. Draw the bastards away. Frank Castle, standing there, grinning. 32 Moors surrounding him, all dead. I would say Frank Castle is a man who would gladly give his life to keep others safe. Lieutenant Frank Castle that I know is a hero.
No more questions, Your Honor.
My father served in Vietnam. He said the only people who truly know what happened are the ones that were there.
Well, perhaps I wasn't clear. That officer that didn't listen to Frank, got his men trapped. You're looking at him.
How'd you miss that in his file?
All the names were redacted.
Not good.
Back at Matt's house, Matt and Stick are sitting together. Matt asks Stick how he knows Elektra. Stick reveals that Elektra works for him and that they've been trying to prevent a war. But that war has now begun and won't stop. Stick explains a story from long ago about a village where invaders came and killed everyone except for one child. That child took up a knife and, in a rage, killed many of the attackers. The child grew up and formed an army to fight back against the organization that caused the massacre. Stick goes on to explain that the organization behind the attacks is called the Hand, and that they are the same people they fought earlier. Stick tells Matt that the Hand is after a powerful weapon known as the Black Sky, and that Elektra has been working with him to stop them. Matt is shocked to learn all of this.
How many of your other patients witnessed their families being brutally murdered right in front of them?
He's the only one.
You killed my dad! I don't give a shit what you've been through. He was my dad, and now he's gone.
I did that. That kid, I took his father from him. I did that.
The jury has to know what happened to you, what you go through every single day. Look, that might not be important to you, but it is important to me. All of them, they all think that you're a monster. But I know that you're not. You're not.
And eventually, Frank agrees to share his story. Karen is excited and quickly tells Foggy the good news. Foggy, however, warns her that they will need Matt's help to make the plan work. Matt, back at his house, confronts Elektra. He asks her if meeting him was part of a plan or just a coincidence. Elektra admits that initially it was a mission, but as she spent more time with Matt, she truly fell in love with him. She explains that she wanted Matt to be like her, a warrior, but she failed. Matt responds by telling her that he loves her too, and if she can change and become better, they could make a great team and work together. Elektra listens and starts to think about his words. Just then, Karen arrives to discuss Frank's case with Matt, but is shocked to see him sitting so close with another woman.
Got company.
Hey.
Let's go somewhere.
No, why?
So that we can talk.
I don't want to.
I know this looks crazy, but it's really not.
It doesn't. Your friend could use your help.
Nice meeting you.
The next day, when Matt arrives at court, he tries to talk to Karen and explain, but she is too upset and refuses to listen. Foggy comes up to Matt and reminds him that they need to focus on Frank's case. The trial begins, and suddenly, a police officer whispers something into Frank's ear. Frank starts thinking intensely.
Please state your name for the record.
Frank Castle.
Frank, may I call you Frank? What happened that day? The day your family was so tragically killed. I understand it's difficult.
Do you?
You don't want to tell us? I'll tell you. You're the kind of man this city needs. We all need men and women who are willing to take the fight themselves, the kind of people who risk their lives. We need heroes. Frank Castle wanted to help, but he took it too far. He's not a common criminal. He's not malicious in intent. Frank Castle is actually a good man. He needs help. Our help. And now you have to decide what kind of jury you want to be.
Can I say something?
You may.
Ones I put down, the people I killed. I want you to know that I'd do it all again. Any lowlife, any maggot piece of shit
that I put down, I did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it. You people, you call me the Punisher, ain't that right? The big bad Punisher. Here I am! And anybody who came here today, hear me whine, hear me beg, I'm guilty. I'll kill every one of them. I'll kill every single one.
I can only imagine what was going on in Matt's head when all their hard work to get him out turns into Frank yapping about killing everyone, which is going to lead him to execution or at best, life in prison.
And I did it because I liked it. Hell, I loved it. I'm sitting here, I'm just itching.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Some doctor, they're gonna get me to stop from doing what I want to do? Well, that ain't happening. Not on my watch. I am the Punisher. I'm right here. You want it? I'll give it to you. I'm guilty. My plea, Judge. I'm guilty.
You provoked him.
I didn't provoke it. What are you talking about? I had it lined up for you. I'm glad we lost. You hear me? I'm glad.
Later, back at Matt's house, Stick is sitting alone when Elektra arrives. She tells Stick to leave, stating that she believes she and Matt can handle the situation themselves. Elektra assures Stick that she will stay with Matt and follow his rules. Stick tries to convince her that Matt's rules won't work in their fight, but Elektra refuses to listen. Angry and frustrated, Stick leaves. When Matt returns and finds out Stick is gone, he is happy about Elektra's decision to stay with him and follow his way of doing things. However, as soon as Matt steps out of the room, a ninja from the Hand organization attacks him with a poisoned weapon.
Who do you work for?
Meanwhile, Frank is in jail, heavily guarded. The guards take him to a room where Wilson Fisk, the kingpin, is waiting for him. Fisk smiles when he sees Frank, and it's clear that something sinister is about to unfold.
I see you got my message.
The scene then shifts to the past, where Daredevil had successfully caught Wilson Fisk and sent him to jail. While in jail, a lawyer came to meet Fisk and spoke to him through the phone. The lawyer informed Fisk that they had taken his beloved Vanessa Fisk to a safe place where she could be protected. However, the lawyer also mentioned that they didn't have much money left, so Fisk needed to behave well in jail in order to reduce his punishment. While in jail, Fisk crossed paths with a dangerous drug dealer named Dutton. Dutton, who considered himself the master of the jail and ruled over all the prisoners, threatened Fisk, warning him not to step out of line, or else they would hurt him. Fisk, always thinking ahead, didn't respond directly, but began observing the jail and its power dynamics. He quietly gathered information about Dutton, and found out that there were some people in the jail who didn't like Dutton at all. Fisk decided to take advantage of this, and cleverly recruited 2 of those people to form a small team that could stand up to Dutton. Even though Fisk's lawyer warned him not to get involved in such risky plans, Fisk ignored the advice and continued with his scheme. When the police officer whispered in Frank's ear during the court trial, it was revealed that the message came directly from Fisk. Now the scene shifts to the present, where Frank and Fisk are standing face to face.
I'm glad we have this chance to meet. What happened to your family that day?
Don't you do that. You don't talk about my family, you got that?
There's a man here in the big box. This man, he most definitely had a hand in the massacre in the park. He's not Irish. It's not cartel. I believe that he facilitated the deal between the 3 groups that you've been targeting. He controls much of this prison. Made my life here difficult.
Well, I don't help. Shitbag has been my boss's.
Has been?
You heard what I said.
I'm simply proposing an arrangement.
I don't do arrangements.
Yes, I benefit from your actions. But the tide raises all ships, Mr. Castle. If you don't want my help, fine. Enjoy prison.
How would it work?
We can get you to him. We have 1 guard on our side, but you only have a 7-minute window to reach Dutton, get your answers, and get out.
After this, you and me, we're done.
Yes, we're done. The shiv is the best I can offer. Something tells me you'll make do.
Foggy arrives to see Matt and tries to advise him to stop doing what he is doing. Foggy feels that Matt is getting in too deep with dangerous people and situations. But Matt, still determined, tells Foggy that he has to deal with many people and can't just stop now. Feeling frustrated and hurt, Foggy decides to end his friendship with Matt and walks away. Karen goes to the publisher's office to find more details about the case. Together, they decide to visit the doctor who had conducted the autopsies on the people killed. Karen and the publisher go to meet the doctor, and they discover that he was actually an undercover policeman sent by the authorities to keep an eye on the entire situation. Karen realizes that the police knew in advance that a fight between the three gangs was going to happen, but they did nothing to prevent it. They could have stopped the violence, but chose not to. Karen also discovers that Frank's family was killed intentionally to cover up the mistakes made by the police and the district attorney. Realizing this, Karen decides to continue working on the case. The publisher offers Karen Ben's old office, and Karen feels emotional, remembering Ben and the work they did together. As the guards change shifts, Frank heads to Dutton's cell.
You make any noise, anything at all, I'm gonna open you up like a bag. I'll watch you bleed out all over this floor. The carousel head. I hear you were there. You goddamn lunatic. The hell were you doing there? You tell me who pulled the trigger, who made the order. You're not as dumb as they thought we were. You realize what it was. Feds infiltrated one of the gangs, I'm not sure which. They found out how big the deal was. There were almost 100 bangers that day. And every finger found a trigger. All I know is he had a line on pure heroin shipped from the Middle East. They called him the blacksmith. And when they realized it wasn't gonna show, someone started shooting. This crusade of yours, it's never gonna end, right? Open the door.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Got done? Holy shit, man! There he is! You're dead! Open up!
Go.
Are you sure that's a good idea, Mr. Fisk?
Go now!
Tried to have me killed.
Would have been cleaner that way, but you got what you wanted. Dutton admitted to some involvement in your tragedy. I needed to close that loop. I had already made a deal with the rest of the guards. You have a gift, Mr. Castle. How could one man be capable of such violence?
Why am I still alive?
Because plans change. Because if you want to survive, you adapt. Release him.
Mr. Fisk,
Do it now! I'm in control now. And I've set you free.
You want me on the outside, so I step on every piece of shit I see. That way nobody gets strong, and city's yours for the taking.
When I'm finally let out of this cage, it won't be to wage war, it will be to win one. I've given you a chance to walk free, to find your justice, to kill your way to justice for your family.
Frank agrees to the deal but warns Fisk that when Fisk comes out, only one of them will remain alive. Either Frank will kill Fisk, or Fisk will kill him. Frank is then released from jail. As he steps outside, a car arrives and someone takes Frank away. Meanwhile, Matt is investigating the Hand organization. He goes to meet the man from whom the files were stolen. This man tells Matt that because of those stolen files, the Hand took his child away. Matt promises to bring the child back. They arrive at a location where many people are gathered. A strange machine is installed which is taking blood from people. Suddenly, a ninja attacks Matt. In the chaos, the man tries to take a machine away, and Matt is knocked down. As Matt gets back up, he realizes that the man is Nobu, the same man Matt killed in the first season. Brett arrives at the location where Matt has called him, a place where the blood of many people has been taken. Brett is shocked by the condition of the people, and decides to take them to a hospital. Brett takes the people to Claire's hospital. He tells her about Daredevil. At first, Claire is hesitant to help, fearing she might lose her job, but she eventually agrees. Upon examining the bodies, Claire notices that all the people's fingers have been burnt so no one can take their fingerprints. Matt comes to talk to Claire and tells her that the Hand organization is responsible for this. Matt hears on the radio that the Punisher has escaped from jail. Shocked, he rushes to the courthouse, where he meets Foggy and Karen. The three of them meet with Reyes. She is frightened, believing the Punisher might try to kill her. Karen questions her about the photos she found in a file. Reyes admits that the DA knew a gang war was going to take place and that they were trying to catch a major Mafia figure. However, the Mafia boss never showed up because they found out the police were involved.
Our undercover was killed and Castle's family.
You tried to kill him and ruin us to save your own political ass. You know what, lady?
I found this in my daughter's backpack before sending her off to school. You know, once he gets his sights set on a target, he never stops.
Where's your daughter now?
Ms. Reyes, it's highly unlikely Frank Castle would target your family. He has his own internal code.
He's coming after my child.
What do you want from us?
If he contacts you, just let us know. I just want to keep my family.
Get down!
Chaos breaks out, and Reyes is killed in the shooting. Foggy is also shot in the shoulder. Matt learns that Fisk was the one who helped the Punisher escape from jail. He goes to the prison to confront Fisk. He freed the Punisher so he could kill criminals, paving the way for Fisk to rule the city when he gets out of prison.
Frank Castle is a killing machine, and you set him free, which means you're aiming a loose cannon at someone, and we both know it.
These days are hectic in Hell's Kitchen. Lunatic shooters, gang wars. The fate of New York City is out of my hands for once.
That's bullshit.
But we're finished here.
Vanessa. I remember her very well.
Believe us.
I will use every legal loophole. I can break you without breaking a single law. I can make sure Vanessa never sets foot on American soil again. I can prove she was an accomplice to every one of your crimes. You can visit her, but you'll never live with her. This is your jungle. This is your blood. You screw with me now, just a little bit, and you'll never really be with your one and only Vanessa.
Speak her name again!
You did set him free.
You ask such small questions, Mr. Murdoch. I will dismantle the lives of the two amateurs that put me in here. And while I try and sleep in this bleak place...
No, I put you here. Not enough.
My mistakes. Everything I took for granted.
You're regaining power in here.
Yes, ask my lawyer. He'll deny it. Ask the guards. They'll deny it. I've had a lot of time to reflect on my journey here. Mr. Murdoch! Yes, the son of a boxer. The two of you took the laurels. You'll both take the blame. I'll chop both the heads off of that snake. The one thing that keeps me warm is the thought that I will look down upon this city with the woman that I love.
Meanwhile, Elektra is standing near a private jet, ready to leave the city. Suddenly, a man approaches her, speaking in a foreign language. Elektra understands as she knows multiple languages and realizes the man is there to kill her. A fight breaks out and Elektra kills him. Before dying, the man reveals that Stick had sent him to kill her. Karen is at the office, speaking to the publisher. She tells him that if the Punisher is responsible for the recent killings, his next target will be the doctor. They rush to the doctor's place, only to find his dead body. Later, Karen returns home, where Frank suddenly arrives.
Hands on your head or I will unload this thing, I swear to Christ!
Was it me? Get out of here. Stay low. Stay low.
At the hospital, Claire notices that some of the people are regaining consciousness. She realizes the ninjas have come to take the children. Daredevil arrives just in time and engages in a fierce battle with the ninjas to protect the children. A huge fight breaks out between Daredevil and the Hands ninjas. These ninjas are highly skilled and ruthless. During the chaos, the ninjas manage to take the children. Claire is devastated and urges Matt to stop going after the Hand, warning him that they are too dangerous and will hurt him. Matt, unconvinced, leaves to continue his mission. Karen is at the police station with Brett, who asks her about the shooting at her house. Karen insists that the Punisher wasn't responsible, but Brett disagrees and assigns police protection for her. After leaving the station, Karen secretly meets Frank in a parking garage. They head to a cafe to discuss how to find Blacksmith.
And ultimately, I think you probably belong in jail, but you never lie to me.
Does he? The lawyer. Not the other one. Murdoch.
Hard person to get to know. I just think that inside he's...
You love him, right?
He's the kind of man who hurts people.
So is that supposed to mean something?
So those are the people that you get out of your life.
People that can hurt you, the ones that can really hurt you, are the ones that are close enough to do it. My old lady, she didn't just break my heart. But she'll never hurt me again. You see, I'll never feel that. So hold on to it. Now you need to go in the back. You get the waitress.
Who are they?
Just some guys who are about to walk into a diner for the last time.
You parked me outside like bait.
Blacksmith. Where is he? Go to hell. 41st Street. The pier.
Matt visits Madame Gao to learn more about Blacksmith. She reveals that she expects Matt to kill Blacksmith, clearing the way for her to seize control. Frank tracks down a man who claims to be Blacksmith and starts beating him, but Daredevil arrives and tells Frank that he's not the real Blacksmith. Frank, furious, attacks Daredevil, but Matt manages to calm him down, convincing Frank that they're both after the same person and should work together.
Just couldn't let me have it, could you? You just couldn't let me have it.
I can't let you start a war for the wrong
Maybe
reasons.
war's what I need.
They killed my kids. Don't you get that?
Do right by them.
I need them gone. It's got to be permanent. It's got to be finished.
I understand. You're right. My way isn't working.
Baby, you cross over to my side of the line. You don't get to come back from that.
Kill him.
Karen, who arrives with the police, is left crying, thinking that Frank has died. Meanwhile, Stick realizes that Elektra has killed the assassin he sent after her. He prepares to kill her himself, but sends 2 men to do the job. Elektra kills them, and then confronts Stick in his room. A flashback shows her training with Stick as a child, and the scene shifts back to the present, where they fight. Elektra demands to know why Stick tried to kill her, but he refuses to explain. Just as she's about to kill him, Daredevil intervenes, stopping her. Suddenly, the Hands ninjas arrive to capture Stick. In the ensuing fight, the power goes out. And the ninjas succeed in kidnapping Stick. Matt tells Elektra that they need to work together to save Stick, but she's furious and declares that she still wants to kill him before storming off. Back at the scene of the explosion, Brett tells Karen that Frank is likely dead, but she remains emotional and leaves. Meanwhile, Matt is in the office when Foggy arrives to announce that he's leaving the firm.
Wherever this group is, forget magic. Look for manhole covers.
Good work, thank you. Did you want me to convince you?
Of what?
Giving Nelson and Murdoch another shot.
We're done.
Karen continues investigating the Frank Castle case when the publisher shows up at her office, urging her to dig deeper. Karen visits Colonel Schoonover, a former colleague of Frank's, to ask for his help, but soon realizes that something is off about him. She quickly figures out that Schoonover is actually the real Blacksmith. He pulls a gun on Karen and forces her to leave with him. Meanwhile, Matt is navigating through a tunnel when he's ambushed by more ninjas. Matt frees Stick and helps him escape, but Elektra arrives, determined to kill Stick. Matt stops her just as Nobu appears and reveals that Elektra is the Black Sky. Stick confesses that he stole Elektra from the Hand as a child in hopes of turning her toward good. Nobu kneels before Elektra, inviting her to join the Hand. Elektra appears to agree, but it's actually part of her plan to save Stick. She betrays Nobu and escapes with Matt and Stick. Karen is in the car with Colonel Schoonover when Frank intercepts them.
Could've let the story go down with that boat. Here, pull over here. Losing 100 million in heroin would have been worth it to take you down. You could have been rich. Hey, maybe you could have taken your family to the Bahamas. Go back to the car.
What's he talking about? Kandahar, what's that? What happened?
Go.
Tell me for Maria. Tell me for Lisa. Tell me for Frank. You shut up! No, Frank! You do this and you are the monster that they say you are. Do you hear me? That's it. You're dead to me. Do you hear me?
Come on. They call you the Punisher. Prove it. One shot. You stupid son.
Back at Matt's apartment, Stick is recovering, but Matt knows that once he's well, Stick will try to kill Elektra. To prevent this, Matt ties him up and tells him to leave Elektra alone. Matt then meets Elektra on a rooftop, where she is emotionally conflicted. She confesses that her entire life has been spent preparing to kill the Black Sky, only to discover that she is the Black Sky. Matt consoles her and asks for her help in taking down the Hand. Together, they visit Melvin to have a new costume made for Elektra. Later, Matt receives a call from Foggy, who informs him that the Hand attacked the police station and stole files containing the names of people Matt had once helped. Worried, Matt visits Brett, who is also injured. Brett tells Matt about the ninjas' attack. A bus carrying hostages, including Karen, is seen being driven by the Hand. Daredevil and Elektra arrive just in time, and a massive fight breaks out.
Somebody's coming out. I said hold your fire. Those people aren't shot. Get them out of here and get them help.
No one escapes destiny.
See you around, Red.
Stay down.
Stick arrives and decapitates Nobu, finally killing him for good. In the aftermath, Matt and Stick stand at Elektra's grave. Matt is devastated, but Stick remains unemotional, viewing Elektra's death as part of the mission. Angry, Matt tells Stick to leave. In the final moments, Matt reveals his secret identity to Karen, telling her that he is Daredevil.
Others bloody the streets in the hope they can stop the tide, the crime, the cruelty. A hero lives here, on the street, among us. Look in the mirror and see yourself for what you truly are.
What am I doing here, Matt?
I'm Daredevil.
Meanwhile, the Hand retrieves Elektra's body from her grave and places it in their mysterious blood machine, hinting at her possible resurrection and future involvement with the Hand. And this is where the Season 2 ends. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and be sure to check out the continuation with the Punisher series on our channel, where Frank goes against the corrupt government to find out who was the man behind the tragedy of his family. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, share it for more awesome movie recaps like this, and as always, thank you for watching.